Do you know if like you can get your COVID vaccine in your butt rather than your arm? I'm just checking for like a friend. Anyways, hey, it's Benny. Is that his name? That
Benny.
Yeah, it was Benny.
Oh, I leveled up. Yeah.
I leveled up. Cool. Benny and Courier. Courier. Damn, we're just going full melee today, huh?
Yep.
Full melee. Confirmed. What the fuck was that? Confirmed bachelor? Oh my
you
god.
do more damage against male opponents. You know what?
That's sexist.
That's indeed.
But speaking of sexist, what are we doing today? What are we talking about?
So today, as you can tell by the title, we're gonna talk about white privilege.
Oof.
So
Oh no.
you could take it how you want. I guess I don't know. Do you want to go first? Because like I say, I talk longer, so
yeah,
I feel
it's
like
okay.
It'd be easier if you say what you want to say first
Um,
about what we mean by white privilege. If there really is another way to mean it, I guess.
Yeah. Well, white people, cover your ears, cause this one's not the episode for you. Matter of fact, click off now and go on to another one, cause this one's rough for you guys. And I know a lot of you guys probably already know this, but that should exist. Being white legitimately is like the easiest thing to be in this world right now. At least in the U.S.
in the United States, especially.
It's crazy how much you can get away with stuff by just being white and like get off of things that like you done, right? Like a bunch of
crime
shootings
is the major thing.
It's like there's been so many shootings, and like yeah, you want to say fucking, you know, their gun laws, they need to be stricter and all that stuff, and like a lot of white people are trying to make sure that that doesn't happen because they want to keep their guns so that they could keep doing shit like that, because they know that they have a problem with their own people trying to do that, but they don't mind it because I mean shit, if it's not them then they don't care, or else they would be up in arms trying. And I know a lot of people, actually there are a lot of white people I know that do that shit, but still it's like it's not enough of them, right? Like it's true that people of color get killed for shit less than what they do. Like I'm pretty sure the guy that was like in Sandy Hook, the dude that killed like a bunch of kids, the elementary school, I'm pretty sure they caught up to him and they captured him and they arrested him.
Is that the same guy that they took to Burger King? Was that someone else?
I don't know. That probably would. I mean, shit. I would have.
White kid.
It might have been him too.
People,
yeah.
And they took him to Burger King after some
like
dumb shit like that.
Come on, man. And it's like if that was any other person of color, whether it was black, Hispanic, Asian, they would have shot him on sight for killing anything. For not even kids, like literally anything. Pulling out a gun, they would have shot him. Sleeping in your house, you get shot. You do a jog outside, you get shot by this policeman. And not even saying just policemen, but like, you know, in general, like life is like for them is like so much more difficult than people who are of color. I mean, not for people who are white, you know. And it's really upsetting because it's like, damn, dude, like
we really live here.
We really live in a society. It's like, shit, I was gonna say, I imagine that there's like a bunch of white people that like in their own race they have like, damn, dude, really is a fucking kill everyone challenge here. I imagine that there's like in their own race there's like a war between themselves, like for like trying to do
like
right.
If white privilege exists or not, or stuff like that.
And then that too, like trying to make it so like they're not as privileged or whatever, right? But still, it's almost like, why would you want to give that up? So I like that's kind of weird to think of, but I mean I'm assuming that's how they think of it, because like they have legitimate so much power in this world, and in the United States in alone they have so much power in the world to change a lot of shit, but they rather not. They rather keep in, you know, in power of everything. Like I know Dr. Umar. Sometimes he it's kind of wild. He's a little extreme sometimes, but I really understood it when he said that he didn't want white people to be going to like the Black Lives Matter movements when like that shit was happening last year, because he was like, this is a black people only like problem and we don't want your people here. And it's not because he didn't want others helping them. It's the way that he wants other people to help him. Like, especially white people, since he knows that they have a lot of power, he would rather them go to, like, the senators of their own people. Because, you know, that shit is, like, their own people. They can get much closer to the people that of their own that have their own power and, like, you know, all that stuff. Like, he would rather them go to the senators, go to the governors, go to, you know, their congressmen, congresswomen, and try to, you know, work from that side by helping black people, not marching along with them, because that doesn't do anything. You're just wasting your time, your breath, instead of actually doing something that is more productive, like, I don't know, going and talking to other people about, like, restricting gun laws, or what's it called, like, having the police reform, but, like, major, other than that little shit that they were trying to do in Minneapolis, where they were, like, trying to not even defund the police, but, like, go, like abolish the police and stuff like that. And it's like, I don't know how extreme you need to take it, but it's just shit like that where it's like, white people have so much power in this country that, you know, they can use for the better, but sometimes they just don't want to, because they fear that they're gonna lose that authority over others, or they're gonna lose that what is that, like, dominance, I guess, over others in this country. And it's like, do you really want equality for others, or not really? Like, what is it that you really search for here? Because I don't know, I just feel like that's a bunch of shit right there that white people just need to realize that, yeah, their privilege is strong. They have an amazing amount of privilege that no one else in this country has, and it's a damn shame that sometimes they don't use it to, like, their advantage. They use it to keep the advantage they have.
Yeah.
Like, and it's upsetting. But oh my god, this is brutal. This is legitimate hacking.
It's hacking.
Yeah.
Is this what white people do?
Oh, they hack in this world? Oh my god.
I meant, like, come in with a grenade launcher and just start shooting.
Yeah, it's like looking.
Yeah, because what I mostly, well, he already kind of pointed out more or less. I just want to talk about, like, examples of it.
Yeah.
Because, like, the reason why I've been thinking about it is just like, holy shit, there's so many people.
There's a lot.
Is because there's been a lot of stuff on the news lately.
Okay.
Of like mostly crimes, like most shootings that we've been seeing that I've seen on the news, at least recently. Like, yeah, it's not all white people, but, like, when it is white people, it just seems that they get more. It's not exactly a slap on the wrist, but they get it off easier than, like, a colored person would. For example, I think this happened probably a couple days ago from when we saw it. We don't know when this video will be up. Bruh, oh fuck.
Wow.
But
That's cheating.
I know.
Oh, nice.
But
Nice.
there's a 14-year-old girl and a 12-year-old boy, both white, who apparently broke into someone else's house, took their guns or something, and started shooting at cops outside. And I'm gonna die again. It started shooting at cops outside. And the thing is that I think after they caught them, or before that, sometime during the events, before or after the events, they said that they were purposely going to look for police officers or to shoot and kill. Like, you know, they were looking for people to kill, or just cops in general.
Yeah.
And,
didn't matter what color.
And the thing is, it didn't matter, like, what color or anything. The point is that it was a bunch of white kids that came out, took this house's guns, and then said, yeah, we're gonna kill cops.
Mm-hmm.
And then the thing that they got is, like, they didn't really get anything bad other than the girl. She got wounded. She got shot. But the thing is, after she got shot and the boy gave up, the cops were already, like, on site trying to help the girl.
Oh.
Like, they didn't, like, hesitate or anything to help the girl, unlike, you know, other colored people when they're injured or something like that. You know, the cops don't do anything, or the cops themselves will, like, hurt or injure a colored person and then kill them from, you know, putting their knee on their fucking neck or something like that. So they rush over and help her, and the boy gives up. And I think right now, I think they're gonna get charged with shit. They should clearly. I hope they would get charged with something. But it's just the girl was injured. She's in the hospital, and the boy is just like, I think I think there's something else that just came out today. I was watching. I think they were saying, that they were charging him with like attempted murders, stuff like that, like some dumb shit. And it was just really annoying because it's like they basically got a slap on the wrist. Like they didn't die, they didn't get gunned down, they didn't get anything like that. It's kind of like a slap on the wrist compared to what black people get, you know?
Yeah.
Or Latinos, because I saw another news story where, what was it? It was a teenage 14-year-old teenage white boy stabbed a 13-year-old white girl 117 times. He was found allegedly to kill her or stab her 117 times, and then I think he ditched her body. And then they finally found her body and shit like that. And then at first, when he got caught and he was in custody, so they hadn't tried him or they were gonna like do anything for like charged him with a crime or anything yet. He had like a different attitude towards the judge and the people and stuff in the courtroom. Like he didn't really seem like he cared until he finally got the actual sentencing, which I think was apparently life in prison. Mm-hmm. I think he got like no chance of parole either.
Good.
I'm not gonna do this.
Oh.
I honestly don't know how to lockpick.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. So he got life in prison?
He got life in prison. He was gonna get the death penalty apparently, but then the Supreme Court ruled that the state can't give or city or district or whatever it was that they decided, probably the state, that they can't give death penalty to minors.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's kind of like it was lucky enough that he was charged as an adult, because most kids, usually white kids who commit crimes, never charge them as adults. You know, they always charge them as like minors and stuff like that, and then they either get away with it or they get a slap on the wrist. But now recently, finally, after like a while, they've been charging, because I know for court cases for like colored kids, what they'll do is they'll wait and keep pushing the court date until they're until they're an adult, and then they could try them as an adult. Mm-hmm. So that way they either get sent to prison for life, or they get sent to prison for life or for like longer. And it's like, that's kind of like injustice in the system itself. Like I think you were saying that like there's the racism as like as a community problem, just like among like communities and just like, you know, like white people and stuff like that. Yep. And then there's the whole like systematic racism, which is racism imprinted in the system, like not just like the justice system, but any type of system. Like I know I think I was watching a video and it said that for for black families compared to white families, that it's harder for them to get a loan. It's harder for a middle class black family to get a loan than the lower class white family, just because they're black. Yeah. Or like specific cities and stuff like that get less, or neighborhoods and stuff, like areas where there's more black people than white people get less funding, because there's more black people and stuff like that. They just want to, I don't know, still like, and it's kind of a perfect example here where we live. There's one city where it basically houses like where all the rich white people live. You know, they have their big houses and stuff like that, and it's where all the good doctors are. It's where like the bigger movie theaters are. It's where it's not where the mall is, but it's like there's more commercial stuff there. There's better housing, there's better doctors,
there's trees,
it's not like pure fucking almost desert like it is here. They have the better parks. They have just it's better because it's a location that's just filled with white people, you know. It's not like how it is here. There's like, I think here there's like Section 8 housing and stuff, but they don't put it over there. Like, you know, like they want to keep certain areas kind of like worse off than other fucking cities. What else was I fucking talking about? Oh, I want to talk about the fucking Morgan Freeman video we were just watching. I was just showing you.
Yeah, you can go on that. But that more on racism or that?
I mean, it still counts as white privilege because what they were talking about were rich and poor, and then what he said was, do colored people have it harder than like does race, as in like I'm pretty sure he meant colored people versus white people have it harder to do better in life. And then the thing, Morgan Freeman said no because he himself and the interviewer he was talking to, which was also black,
Don Lemon?
whatever his name was,
Yeah,
dude,
Don
I don't know his
Lemon.
name, were a perfect example of like, oh, that race doesn't really matter if you can make it rich or poor. But the thing that got me wasn't that, it was more the fact that he said, as long as you forget
First of all,
about
sorry.
race.
Why were you were aiming at his head, and his leg got chopped off.
Dude, that's Fallout New Vegas for you.
Oh my god.
That's Fallout New Vegas for you. All right,
you know what? That's
all right.
white privilege because he's white. You were supposed to aim for his head, and only his leg got cut off.
Alright, there you go.
Oh, never mind.
There you go. Oh.
Put on the flip. Yeah. We're serving that for dinner tonight, boys.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. Gee, that was aggressive. Alright, but yes, continue on your Morgan Freeman
he
thing.
was saying, Morgan Freeman said, as long as we don't pay attention or don't talk, no, as long as we don't talk about racism, it doesn't exist. And a lot of people in the comments were in a way congratulating him, saying like, oh yeah, like that's the way to think. Like if we forget about it, we don't talk about it, then it'll go away. And I can't help but think that's the most naive way to think about racism or like
Any
a
situation.
problem to
Yeah.
solve about racism. Because if you forget about it, that doesn't make the system just stop. That doesn't make people just stop being racist. Like, it's not like he said that and it's fucking... Because he said that in 2014. It's not like, boom, 7 years in the future, wow, look, racism's gone. Like, we forgot. Like, no. Like, yeah, we didn't stop talking about it like he fucking said. But even if we did stop talking about it, it always happens. Because, I mean, just look at it now. Let's talk about the fucking... Well... I just think, let me finish the fucking thought of the Morgan Freeman, that I just think it's like a really naive way of thinking about like racism. Like you can't, because you could apply that logic to anything else and it really doesn't work. Like what were we saying,
like the Holocaust, like you were saying, like
oh yeah,
that,
like if you just forget about what happened to Jewish people or disabled people or black people during the Holocaust, it's just gonna go away. Like, oh yeah, it'll never happen. Let's forget about it. Like, no, you gotta acknowledge the travesties that happen so that way it doesn't repeat itself. That's the whole purpose of learning history, is so you don't repeat the same mistakes. But I guess people don't fucking think about it like that. They just think, oh, we don't think about it, it'll just disappear and it won't be our problem anymore. When that's kind of like the complete opposite.
Yeah, just forgetting about a problem or just pretend like it never happened and stuff like that. That just enables the activity to continue
Like,
occurring.
I don't know if we could say this, but like how you were saying, you also said that like if someone's daughter is raped and then someone's just like, oh, if you forget about rape, it just won't happen again. You know, your daughter will be okay. Like, it doesn't fucking apply. It just doesn't work that way. You don't forget about something and then everything's okay now. It's just really ignorant way of thinking, and I don't like how people were saying, oh, he's so wise, he's so this. Like, not really. That's the way a child would think about things. Like, just forget about it and it's not my problem. You're just running away from the actual problem.
And that only hurts like the woman in that spot, but also like in general, like that racist thing. Like if like just imagine the people who were killed because of their race. You're just gonna forget about them as well?
Yeah, right? Like, they want to say, oh, forget about race, but, I mean, people are still getting shot out here because of their race.
Yeah, like, well, let's just
not
forget
because they
about it,
did
because we never
anything
talked about
bad,
it.
but because, yeah, like, they always stop talking about his race, this, that, but that's always the factor that plays in. Like, I think, a lot of Asian violence has been happening lately. How there's a lot of cops. I don't know if they're white or not, but I'm pretty sure the white ones get like off scot-free easier than like a color cop. I feel like just kind of cops in general, because but how they've been, like, a lot of police it was one instance of the police I think he ran over or he gunned down like Asian ladies. No, he ran them over, right? Well, he ran them over. I think he went out and he either shot up or ran over a bunch of Asian ladies. And and the chief of police of that area defended him, saying that, oh, he was just having a bad day. Like, you know how easy it is to get off scot-free by just having someone say, oh, he was just having a bad day. Like, can you really say that for any other race and they would believe you? You know,
like if I went up to a cop and be like, I fucking hate your kind, you'd be like, all right, that's it, you're arrested, just for like just saying some stupid, like even just that, they get offended, they get so sensitive off of that. And if I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I just had a bad day, my dog died, I had to go bury him, they'd be like, that's not enough, sir, I'm sorry, you offended me, and now you're going to jail.
I know.
Just just small shit like that. But a guy could come up to him, stab him, and be like, oh, you were having a bad day, oh, I'm sorry. That's because he's white.
That reminds me of another instance I saw where it was this white guy. I think it was after the whole insurrection thing was happening at the Capitol.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was like a couple months after, a couple weeks, or a few days later. There's a white guy who came in his van, ran over a police officer, and then came out with a knife trying to stab the other one, so the cop shot him and killed him, right?
Yeah.
And then the thing is that then after he was dead and his family found out who it was, and they were like, oh yeah, that's like our family member, they were saying stuff like, oh, he had mental issues and he had this, and it was just like bullshit excuses
trying to humanize
saying that, yeah, trying to humanize him, like he was a victim more than a criminal. While it's kind of the opposite, like how when George Floyd was basically murdered by the police officer, that it was after that people were painting him more as a criminal than like a martyr, the way they were trying to pay.
They were saying like, oh my god, why was he trying to pay with the forfeit ass $20 bill? Oh, he was a drug addict. Oh, why like they were just trying to make up excuses not to try to paint the Derek Chauvin guy into the criminal that he was. Until finally, they had to do it. Like, they were forced. They were like fucking like man, like fuck, man. That was one of the weirdest times, just to see how badly white people wanted to defend their own. I'm not even saying white, but like, you know, I'm just like it's just like a thing. Like the white privilege thing is just like it's so real.
It's like we're not talking about all white.
Yeah, no,
people,
obviously not.
It's like
there are some people that's super cool, but like I'm just saying like white people privilege.
It's prevalent in the United States.
Yeah,
maybe not in
like
the rest of the world,
dude.
But in the United States, it's really like a big deal.
Yeah.
Because I mean, this is where we live, so of course we're not gonna know too much about other like countries, but you
what the fuck?
See, yeah, that's the Ironsides.
That's the servant.
It's ugly.
Yeah, I agree though.
I'm trying to think.
It's
Oh yeah, but the fucking Asian ladies, dude. Like they really want to say, because I want to go back to like again, like we're talking about white privilege, but how white privilege people don't think that racism exists. But the thing is, like, there's been a lot of hate crimes towards Asians, old Asian women, because they're usually the ones who can't defend themselves, and it's just annoying because they want to say that racism doesn't exist, or if you forget about it, it goes away. But it's like, when were these Asian ladies? Like he said, if you stop talking about it, it doesn't exist. These Asian ladies weren't talking about racism or anything, but they still got killed because they were Asian.
Yeah.
So how does his logic apply to everyone when it really doesn't? That's what you see. Like, that's the kind of like a hole in his argument. It really doesn't. Just forgetting about it or not talking about it doesn't make it not exist, because they lost their lives just for being Asian, and these other people were able to get away with it, or at least they still killed someone. You know, they still killed someone.
Yeah.
And then they either got away with it, or they get a slap on the wrist, or they get something like, oh, like the mental illness. Oh, like I forgot to say about the guy the kid who stabbed the girl 117 times. They were gonna give him death penalty, blah blah blah. But then after that, they said that they want to see if he's clinically insane. So they want to see if he's able to stand trial fairly. And then they also want to look into if it's also mental illness, because I don't think they categorize as mental illness as the same as being like clinically insane in that instance, you know.
If it was a black guy, he would have been put in jail that day.
Exactly. That day. That's the point I'm trying to make, is that they wouldn't try to see if he was clinically insane. They wouldn't see if mental issues had a problem with it, or if he was like bipolar. Like, they wouldn't look into none of that, or make excuses, because I don't want to give him the benefit of the doubt and be like, oh, maybe he does. No, it's excuses to either get them less jail time, to just get them less jail time, or get them off scot-free. They always do. They did the same thing for the 2 kids that shot the cops. They wanted to see if it was like a mental illness because apparently the kids, I think they come from like foster care or foster something. They're like they were like, oh, they're troubled children.
Mm.
And I'm like, come on, like, you gotta be, you gotta be kidding
You gotta
me,
be
like, come on,
man. Yeah.
that's not
Ridiculous.
just, oh fuck.
What happened here? You going insane?
I'm clinically insane,
Oh,
so
no.
you can't arrest me. Oh, who's shooting at me?
He's getting sniped.
Trying to think of what else, other points, because I mostly just have examples because I've been seeing. Oh, shit.
Jesus.
What the hell? Okay. I've mostly been seeing a lot of news stuff about that lately. That's been like a lot of people committing crimes, mostly white. Like, it's not mostly white people. It's like when you see
Yeah.
a white person commit a crime, it's easier for them to get off of the crime.
Oh my
shit.
god, what the hell is that?
It's like
Looks
little-
like me when I'm hungry.
Oh boy. Get on the thing.
That's disturbing, man. He's like, give me some water.
You gotta
Just
eat
give him the water.
everything. No, I need it.
Give him a purified water. I think he wants it. Look at him.
Should we? Oh fuck! No, the
That did
food does
nothing.
not help.
Look at that.
So you just want to try to end the episode here? Because I don't,
Yeah, I
I
guess
don't
we
know
could.
unless you want to like closing thoughts like we usually do.
Yeah, I guess the only real thing is just like, man, if oh my
Fuck, it's the
god,
worst way to
that's
end it, dude.
embarrassing. Bye.
Just bye.
Yeah.
Okay, bye. Like, comment, subscribe.